Well, this bag better lead to a good dungeon.
His bus. Someone shouted, "I love you, Nigel." Shall
Oh. Hello, another video, and this time we are looking at Bag of Dungeon. It is a fantasy adventure game by Gunpowder Studios. Now this was backed on Kickstarter a while back, not that long ago, I think it was last year I believe. And as far as I can tell, there's only really two places you can get it from. Technically three. Gunpowder Games, though I don't think there's a shop up for them. eBay and Amazon. Amazon seems to be the main one, where every time I look on Facebook this shows up. It's a game where it does use dice and other extremities. So let's have a look in the box. And in the box is 3 bags, but they are bags filled with things. But what is it, you may ask, do you get in the big bag? Well, you get a slab of tiles, including a start and an exit tile. Safe zone, no fighting on the start tile. Oh, no. Multiple different tokens, such as these black one-sided and red other-sided ones, which can denote things such as taking an item or defeating an enemy. These double-sided ones with cream on one side, red on the other, which denotes blank enemy. These, which are cream with dragon on one side, blank cream on the other side, which denote blank items. And this that denotes the dragon, which is double-sided, the dragon head on one side and the evil dragon on the other. Bag filled with all different wooden cubes, people tokens, which are called meeples in board game circles. Wooden thing to represent the ring, and 4 blocky red dice. Now this is a criticism of the game, but there should have been more, at least 6 to 10, in my opinion. The wooden blocks, there are 4 of each in 4 colours, and 4 little meeples each in colours: red, blue, green and white. All different character stat cards, each with a different class, name, action amount, combat dice and bonus, and special ability and health. They're also double-sided if you want to be a male or a female. There's the fighter, awesome power in close combat, prowess to none. There is the elf, hated by bards aplenty. Healer, good support option, but cack-handed in close combat. And, according to most bards, the best in all of Bag of Dungeon, the dwarf. Each adventurer works basically the same way. You've got 2 slots for each one-handed weapon or magic item, so you wish. 1 for item, 1 for legwear, and 2 spare ones, things such as potions and the like. We also have the actions, which are labelled here as well for AP, so the fighter has 5. Once he's done all of those, he's done. Also has lives, 1 for solo play and 3 for other. Also has 10 health, so that's what you start with. Also has down here the track for tracking monster health. If you fighting a monster with 6 to 9 health and kill it, you take 1 item from the bag of items. If you fight a monster with 10 or more health, you'll take 2 items upon its death. There's also the special, which in this case with the fighter, +1 to combat roll when fighting with a sword. Basically, if you find a sword, the fighter would gain 2d6 plus 3 in combat. These cards, which I'm not sure what they are, I'm guessing from what the text says and how they're set out, they tweak the game somewhat, so you don't have to play it all the same way all the time, which is a nice replay value. Such as this one, Siren Song. When you draw the M5 or M10 tile, one of the deadly Siren Sisters are spawned. Use a red token to represent each. The spellbinding song is irresistible to all who hear it, evoking sanctuary and comfort. Yet these hideous sibling hags desire only your death. Very good. And the rules. Fairly standard, but there are some bits that I wish were set out a bit better. Just my little nitpick. Some bits seem to be laid out a bit further away than they need to be, but never mind. They are what they are. But what entails in this bag? Well, it has an axe on it and this strange text which reads, Items! These must be for Item. And we drew out the magic boots. Of course they are items for the adventurers to use. Plus 1 tile move. Take no damage when escaping monsters. Very useful. But what else could we grab? We could get teleporting crystal. Move up to 5 tiles or through 1 adjacent wall. Come on, let's have another one. Small axe. Plus 1 to CBC roll. Basically, close combat. 1 more for prosperity. Aha! Magic shield. Minus 2 damage. Very nice. This, of course, can only mean one thing. It is full of snakes. Well, technically, there are snakes in here, but there are other monsters such as the zombie, the monk, okay, the goblin, the skeleton, and of course one of the powerfulest enemies in the game, the giant snake. Notice how it looks similar to the picture on the front of the bag. Menacing. So, once you've selected your character, you'll need to get 4 cubes of the same colour, which in this case, the green ones, and 1 meeple of the same colour. You'll then need to place 1 cube, if you're playing with others, on the highest life number. 1 cube on the highest health number. 1 cube on the highest AP number. The other cube leave to one side, and the meeple leave to one side for now. Once everyone's chosen their character, what someone needs to do is shuffle the dungeon tiles into 2 separate stacks, fairly equal as possible. And once you've done this and marvelled at my appalling shuffling, you then put the exit tile on top of one of the stacks, place the other stack on top, and then shuffle them yet again, like so. Then you are ready to begin. So once we have decided who is being what character, what colour each character will be, and how the dungeon will face to start, we put each meeple person on the starting tile. Then we can begin. You spend action points or AP to do different things, mainly to put dungeon tiles down and to move. But you could do other things such as healing, using items, or using magic spells. They're the main ones. So it uses 1 AP to draw a tile. Aha! We have a T-junction, which I'll place like that. You'll notice that there are these grey wall sections. These mean you cannot place the dungeon unless there is no other option where there is a wall. If you place the dungeon like that, there'd be nowhere for you to go. Then I'll spend 1 AP, again, to move. I'll then spend another one to reveal another tile. Aha! It is a monster. When one of these tiles appears, you need to put a little red token on it. And then I spend 1 to move on. It does not spend any AP to fight a monster, but it does spend AP to run away or run past it, like the coward you should not be. I dive into the bag of the monsters and see what I get. I've drawn the giant snake. So removing that little tile I'm placing the giant snake there. This is where problems may occur and where combat begins. The giant snake has 2 dice plus 6. So whatever it rolls, it adds 6. And for me, it is 2 dice plus 2. Starting with the snake, gets a 10 plus 6. So that is a 16. I get a 9 plus 2, which is 11. I would take 5 damage. My 10 health, I'm already down to 5. Not a good start. But let's go again. The snake gets 17. I get a 7. After defeating the monster single-handedly in one go, I have slain it completely. Now I have a double. If you roll a double, a triple, or a quadruple, because you could roll 4 dice, then your score is doubled before any modifiers. So in my case, my score would be 24, and then my extra 2. So I would be on 26. That zombie would be in pieces. But what happens if it's an enemy I cannot defeat for whatever reason? If I have at least 1 AP left, I can use it to call for help. If someone's got enough AP left, then they can move in to help. So for instance, the healer, which, yeah, okay. The healer will spend 2 AP to move in. Of course, the person who you have asked for help does not have to decide until after the person asking for help has spent the AP. This could mean some cowards decide that you are much too risky to help. The person that is helping gives you an extra dice in combat. This will mean you will usually get 3 dice, sometimes even 4. So for this roll, that would be an excellent double 6, makes it 24, and that 5 makes it 29, and that plus 2 makes it a 31. If we had not managed to win against the monster for that round of combat, then the monster will fight back. So the monster would deal in this case 6 plus 2, so 8 damage. I, as the person asking for help, would take the total damage. The helper would take half. But what if you can't defeat the monster and no one will help you? Then you can run away. If you have at least 1 AP, you can run off, but you'll take 1 unavoidable damage in return as the monster attacks you for cowardly running away. However, you could want to run past the monster in order to get where you need to go. That would take 2 AP and you would still take 1 damage in return. You can also shoot at an enemy if you have a weapon that has long enough range, and if it is a magic item, you have to discard it if you've used it. But what if it's an enemy that hasn't been revealed? You can still do that too. You'll need to make sure somehow, some way, to record the health of the enemy. You might need extra dice for this, as there is nothing in the game to show hidden monster health. Of course, when they drop the items where they are until you go on it. Say you deal 12 damage to an enemy, you'll then need to move on and then reveal it. If it has 12 or less health, it dies. If it has more than 12 health, then you'll need to go on the square and try to take it on head to head, fist to fist, sword to claw, axe to ass. Yeah. There are other special tiles in the game, for instance, such as the healing pool. Now, what the healing pool does is exactly what it says. It heals the character to full. You also respawn there if you die. If you die, you lose all your items unless it says otherwise. However, if you are healed, then you cannot use it to heal for the remainder of the game. Use it wisely. There are also tiles like the item tile. These work similar to the monster tiles with the M and the number on them, except you get items from them. However, once the player's gone on there, no one else can get them. As you go on in the game, you'll get more items and hopefully face more enemies to take more items. You do have a limited inventory though, so be careful in what items you take and what items you leave behind. If you're playing with other players, they might be able to take them at some point and kill you with the item you dropped. The game ends when all the dungeon tiles have been placed, making a dungeon. You'll notice here, here and here there are no tiles to go down, which is too bad. There it is, some places you won't have time to explore. However, when all the tiles have gone, the ring must be placed somewhere on one of these numbers. So what happens is 2 dice are rolled. In this case it has rolled a 10, which means the ring, it goes there. There was always a monster to face when trying to get the ring. So if a monster has been defeated on the tile, and normally there would not be a monster to face, you draw a random monster from the bag to be the ring defender. In which case it will be a monk. I knew they'd be back. So the monk is the ring defender. Let's see if we can defeat it. I rolled 3 dice and I got 13 plus my 2 bonus. So I got a 15. Monk in return gets 4 plus its 4 bonus, which means it scores 8. The damage difference 7. Once the ring has been found, the dragon token is placed on the exit. The dragon has 20 health and rolls all 4 dice in close combat. He's resistant to arrows. There is also, you could use your sword or magic or any other close combat weapon, but remember, bows are pointless. That's basically Bag of Dungeon in a nutshell. It's very simple, but I feel very effective. It's good if you're playing with other people and pretty decent if you're playing on your own. You'll find it for 30 to 45 quid, depending on where you buy it from. From Amazon you are looking at 35 quid, which might seem a fairly expensive price, but you do get 3 game variants. You get fairly decent detailed characters, dice and everything. I'm going to do a couple of more videos, maybe a couple of plays of this, hopefully something in depth of how the game is. So, that's it. Bye for now.